Chicago Bears photo by Jonathan Daniel, Getty Images. Ryan Pace has made his fair share of mistakes as general manager for the Chicago Bears. Whether it be in free agency or the NFL draft, it's fair to say he's struck out a couple of times. But with the mistakes also come the decisions which have turned to gold. Back in the 2016 NFL Draft, Pace selected Jordan Howard in the 5th round out of Indiana. 3 years and a Pro Bowl nod later, Howard has become a staple within Chicago's offense. In the 2017 NFL Draft, Pace found another gem in the middle rounds. This time, it was Tarik Cohen out of North Carolina. Fast forward 2 years, and Cohen has become one of the most electrifying players in the NFL. In Matt Nagy's first season as head coach, and running the offense, it seemed apparent at times that they could find a little better a fit than Howard. Pairing a different, more dynamic back with Cohen might do the offense justice. At the same time, the Bears could choose to stay with Howard and upgrade the depth behind he and Cohen. Right now, the Bears could move on from Benny Cunningham and Taquan Mazzell, should they find a replacement. In the upcoming 2019 NFL Combine, this year's talented running back class will be on full display. More so than most years in recent memory, there are some guys who appear to be hidden gems. Whether they are less talked about or from a smaller school, there are several players who will be ones to watch as their stock could rise. Let's check out just a few. Page 2 Chicago Bears photo by Michael Reeves, Getty Images. One of the names constantly rising out of this year's running back class could end up being a steal, no matter where he is taken. I firmly believe Devin Singletary is a top 5 back in this class and will have a big impact on an NFL roster at some point. Singletary has a lot of similarities to Jordan Howard. He isn't a big, bruising back, but his vision is a lot like Howard's. Singletary is a patient runner who sees holes before they develop. He isn't quick to make a rash decision, but rather waits for things to develop and can get horizontal in a hurry if need be. Another similarity to Howard is Singletary's ability to push for extra yardage. He keeps his feet moving and doesn't like to lose yardage. That's one thing I've appreciated about Howard for the last 3 seasons, he rarely loses. In 3 seasons at Florida Atlantic, Singletary has put up eye-popping numbers. He ran for 1,000 or more yards in all 3 seasons, including 1,918 in 2017. In total, Singletary amassed 4,287 yards and 66 touchdowns on the ground through 3 years. You can go ahead and tell me it had a lot to do with lack of competition, but I'm still going to allow myself to be impressed. Lastly, while he wasn't largely involved in the passing game, Singletary always handled that aspect well and proved he could catch the ball if need be. In Nagy's system, everybody must catch the football. He can do exactly that. Page 3 Chicago Bears photo by Justin K. Aller, Getty Images. If the Bears want to look a little deeper into the running back crop this year, Jalen Moore out of Appalachian State could be a wild card. He is most definitely going to be a risk in the later rounds, but if he polishes up on a few things, Moore could serve as some good depth behind Howard and Cohen. Moore from Windy City. One of the aspects people appreciate about a guy like Cohen is his burst. In the open field, Cohen is absolutely electrifying. This is what you're going to get out of a guy like Moore. In the open field, he is incredible. The senior saw his final season cut short after fracturing his ankle, and wound up only playing in 5 games. He did rush for 600 yards and 6 touchdowns, though. Moore's sophomore and junior season saw him go over the 1,000-yard mark both years, and he's combined for 3,570 yards and 33 rushing touchdowns in 40 career games. If Moore could come in and prove to the coaching staff that he can be a grittier player, giving more effort when things aren't easy, that's where I'd see a higher ceiling develop. He doesn't typically show you that extra effort when there isn't an open field in front of him. When things get tougher, he folds at times and doesn't push through the contact. I think simply being in a locker room with such a tight-knit group of players, and in a backfield featuring two very good backs might help push more to new heights. Page 4 Chicago Bears photo by Julio Aguilar, Getty Images. One of the most interesting backs in this draft, especially for the Bears, is Darrell Henderson out of Memphis. Henderson is a hard-working back and he does a lot of things well. I have a feeling he will serve as a strong option in a split backfield. In 3 years at Memphis, Henderson put up over 3,500 yards on the ground and 36 rushing touchdowns. He was also used in the passing game, catching 63 passes for 758 yards and 8 scores. Henderson's final season with the Tigers was incredible, as he rushed for 1,909 yards on just 214 carries. That's an average of 8.9 yards per carry, which he also averaged the year prior on 130 attempts. Henderson's footwork is fantastic. He is great at stopping and starting, cutting back and creating lanes for him that weren't quite there in the first place. He runs hard and plays with an attitude similar to former Memphis teammate Anthony Miller. Interestingly enough, Miller is now a Bear as well. Wouldn't that be something? A familiar face in his brand new locker room would certainly help create immediate chemistry with the rest of the guys, and would only liven it up for Miller's sake. I could see the Bears making a move like this, and if Henderson is there in the mid-rounds, I would be thrilled if they took a chance on him.